All right, AL West. As it currently stands, the Seattle Mariners are somehow, some way, one game up. They are one game up in the AL West over the Houston Astros. They were 10 games up in June.
I think that was in July. Is that possible?
Big freaking nice.
They've been no, that was not July. They were 10 games up in June 18th. June 18th, they were 10 games up. They have been in first place since May 11th.
So they've coughed up 9 games in a month.
That's right. It's been a good time. Really fun watching them play like crap. Yeah, here's the deal. They obviously need offense. They're very aware of that. This is another team where they are not just going to sit there, folks. We know that for sure. Are they able to pull off something absolutely massive? I doubt it, but they, with where their farm system now is, which includes a lot of young players, young hitters that people want, they have the pieces to do it. Which ones they're actually willing to part with, which ones teams actually want, we will see. I think they will try something. They will try something big. And whether it works or not, we're going to find out. But I don't think they're just going to sit around and wait for stuff to get better.
The Houston Astros, who are trying to chase down those underwhelming Seattle Mariners, who I think probably, unfortunately, sadly, Jordan will chase down the Seattle Mariners at this point. I mean, they already
did. Even if they're they're right there. So
what do they need?
I mean, I think right now the playoff odds are still 50-50 for the division, but yeah.
Don't feel that way. I'll tell you that. The Astros have not gotten a lot of production at first base. John Singleton is doing his damnedest. I saw some Vlad Jr. Astros rumors. I would be very skeptical of that happening. It does feel more likely now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, if any team's going to call and try something wild to get Vlad Jr., hell yeah, it's them. Truly. They basically traded for Bryce Harper. And then Nats ownership was no, never mind. They'll do it. They'll do it.
This current Astros group that is being led by their owner and Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio and Dana Brown sometimes, right? That group, I imagine, is going to be more aggressive than the group 3 years ago that was led by James Click.
I mean,
right?
listen. Crane's been in charge the whole time. Right. So, yes. How different is it going to be really? But I do agree with you.
They also probably need one more starter. But on the offensive side, to me, it's Brent Rooker, maybe. It's Josh Bell if they want to upgrade on the low end at first base. Maybe one more outfield bat. Right now, they're doing Myers, Loperfido, and Chas McCormick out there with some Trey Cabbage and some Mauricio Dubon. They're going to get Kyle Tucker back at some point. That's going to obviously be a huge help for them. He was just so good in the first half. But yeah, the Astros, they'll make a trade to upgrade their team, and then they'll chase down the Mariners, and that's really it. The Rangers are a much more interesting proposition because I think that they should sell. It's a tough spin after winning the World Series and then immediately just selling off at the deadline. They have a lot of talent. They've dealt with a lot of injuries. Josh Young, Evan Carter still in the IL. Jacob deGrom expected back sometime. Dame Dunning and Tyler Mahle still in the IL as well. But they have a lot of impending free agents that they could deal and get a lot of interesting stuff back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what, Scherzer had some quote that was don't even ask me about the trade deadline. We're going to win here. I'm like, all right, dude. Well,
they're currently what? They're 5 back in the division, and they are, I believe, 5 back in the wild card.
More than that.
7.5 in the wild card.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the guys we're talking about, right? Heaney, Yates, Lorenzen, Leclerc. I guess Leclerc's injured. So they definitely do have a lot that they could deal. And, you could say they're if they don't, how mad are the fans going to be? You just won the World Series, you're fine. You could view that both ways. Maybe they'd say, no, we do have to go for it. Maybe they could say, nah, we're not that good. So they are definitely an X factor to watch just because of how many guys they could move if they decide to go in the other direction.
The opposite of an X factor is the Angels, always, forever, and in eternity. They're in just a bizarre spot because the general manager, Perry Minasian, is on the hot seat. And so then what do you do? If you're a bad team with a GM who might not be there next year, do you sell for a future you're not going to be a part of? I don't know. The impending free agents they have are Matt Moore, Brandon Drury, Carlos Estevez, who I think will get dealt. He's going to throw important innings in the postseason. That guy's good. Team's very interested. And then Kevin Pillar is like the other interesting one. Just he's been so good as a veteran.
And
he won't be this
Rengifo,
good.
who we mentioned. Yeah.
Yes, but he has one more year.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. And then Taylor Ward's been in a lot of trade rumors too, even though he's got two more years of control. But they ain't fooling anyone at this point. They will try to trade more guys. There's I think Perry. That is still, I guess, the job description. So I think he will do that.
The A's, who are going to be in Sacramento next year. That's weird and sad. Mason Miller is not getting traded. Let's say that right now. He's not a free agent until after 2029, when we'll all be dead anyway.
Trade, relief contracts or years of team control for relievers don't mean anything to me anyway, because they're different every year. So that doesn't really matter. Yes, this one. I mean, Mr. Miller's amazing. I'm just like, why do I know what he's going to be next year, let alone next month? Like, I just do not. Telling me how many years of team control a reliever has means nothing to me. I think there's a 5% chance he could get dealt, but I think that I would not be focused on that because they're going to have so much else that they're trying to move, whether it's Andujar, whether it is Rooker, who again, he's under team control for 3 more years after this, but they have to be trying to chip, Stripling, Wood, all these other guys, I think, are absolutely gone. And that's probably how it should be. So there you go.
All right. That's it. We did it. 10 points to Gryffindor. That's the trade deadline. If you have any other trade deadline questions or thoughts, email us baseballbarbacast@gmail.com.